So at some point, I'm sure I'll use the weeks again. This was my most successful weeks. I can bring some out. Bring them out, bring them out. These ones. And I think this one. Yeah. So, Hobonichi weeks have been my love too. These are kind of, okay, so this is a 2023. Okay, so I know what I did here. So let's see the farthest one I have back. That's 2020. Because sometimes I repurpose too. This is probably 2022. 2019. So 2019, 2020. These are 2021s. And this is like 2022, 2023. So my most successful one and that I'm proud of is this one, 2022. This is like 9 months. And I was like loving this. I was functionally using it the months I started using. And then this is the one where I hacked and started sooner. So how you do that is you just go to the other months that they provide that you know they're not going to be in the release, you know what I mean, of that year or season that they do. And I was pasting weeks down to start earlier. So I started November 1st on this one. This one is even earlier. This one's in like September. So I didn't really use the monthlies a whole lot in 2021, and then when 2022 came about, I started putting pictures down, and I loved that. And then what I eventually started to do was do pictures and journaling towards the end of the book in the notes. So that's how it got so fat, because I was doing loads of pictures in the dailies at first. Well, it ended up that way. I use the weeklies functionally. I love doing the events, top 3 to-dos, notes in a week's, and it just clicked and worked so well for me in 2021. I just loved it. My goal was like finish a Hobonichi weeks, because I got close to it in some of these. This is one I actually finished too. This is of the same year, but it's not a mega. I normally sometimes have weeks in several in 1 year. It definitely in 2022, I did do that. So I'd like to take one on the go, and I'd like to keep one home. This was the one that was home. And I was just doing all kinds of stuff. When my mom died, it brought up all kinds of crap for me. So I think I stopped using so much stickers. And then I went into it again towards the end of the year. That always happens. I kind of lose steam. And then towards the end of the year, I'm like, oh, yeah, I like it again. So pasting in stuff. I'm going kind of fast because, again, I don't know what's on here. And I don't want you all the way reading these pages. Like, it's weird. But this is how I kind of like using it. So September, I told myself I finished it up. So I finished it up in like 9 months. And so I had finished all the dailies. And then I was like, man, I'm going to move into another book, which is this one. And I'm going to start doing the same thing, because I was like so motivated, right? And so I just started putting down stuff, quotes and motivations, and then things like my daughter started using stickers in it. This is when I was doing gratitude for my husband. It started off in here. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. And then I started putting it in my standard astrology. I used the days so streamlined at the end of 2021. Then 2022, it stopped. I kind of like was like, I don't want to use the dailies like that anymore. I will use the dailies. So this is 2022. I started kind of like journaling, kind of trying to figure my way on how I wanted to use them. As you could see, this is March now. And I'm just like, it's not really working. But the weeks were working really well. And then I think that's when I started doing pictures. Yeah. So picture journaling started in June. And I'm not going to go through all that because that's all the pictures. I also had tipped in pages for like a New York trip, our spring break, then more journaling. I wanted to do collections, and I wanted to do seasonal info to buy for kids, routines, master grocery list, personal development, which are all these pages. And I'm not going to, because those are private. And I was like, it's not working. I didn't like that. But I kept them back there. Groceries on hand, cleaning reminders, master task list, what I wanted to do for the following year. This was cool. I used my daughter, my husband, and my son throughout the year. And I put like little things, transparent. And throughout the year, I was like, okay, what do you want to buy them? What do you want to do? I used it seasonally for like birthdays and Christmas and stuff. It was super wonderful. So this was the mega. This was the one that I just completed the whole thing. Super love, right? And then when September came around, I was like, I'm going to use this one. And I started doing the same exact thing, yearly goals. I did not use the monthlies because I was like, I don't want to do that. So I glued in, so it's not really any months in here other than December, January, February, March. So I glued in weeks. These are glued in, and I started using it in September. And I was having fun. I was doing the same exact stuff that I did in my big one. And I don't know, I ran out. See, here's October. I started like not wanting to use that page, so I put vellum. Then I started using it really functional. And then it just died down. So then I was like, guess what? New Year's coming. No, that's not this one. I think it's a different one. So I started doing the same thing. That's right. I wanted one where I can do this again. And that's what this was going to be. And then I was going to have a regular weeks. And it just didn't work. I started doing all my pictures again. And it just didn't work. I even have loads of pictures to do. And I don't know. I just did away with it. So that's like was currently, these are some of the older ones. Like this was 2019 when I lost all my weight on keto. This is when I loved using the weeks, the month. Oh, these are so cute. So 2019. Then I got a wild hair in my butt and I took all the weekly pages out and I did like a day free. So this is 2018, 19. So I was using it as a regular notebook. I've got stuff in here that's personal. So I did that, but of course I never finished it. And I had this much left. So I was like, oh, but something was appealing about the monthly and the daily in this size. I might do that again at some point. Then this is the one where I was like, I think faith-based for 2021. I had a faith-based one. And I was like, I'm going to use this for reading and sex and events. I got like tracker happy. No. Then I was like mood. No. Then I was like regular. Okay, fine. So then I was using this one before this one came. Because as you remember, I started in November 2021. So these were like the earlier days, 2020 to 2021. So this is the one where I start chomping off stuff so I could use it in other notebooks. So I used a lot of this one to paste in a lot for over there. So I would always do horizontal too in the weeks because we talked about how I don't like them. I really love this style. Did that, really love this one. And then I started plotting down how I wanted to use the Hobonichi in 2021, goals for my marriage, my kids, my word of the year, like, and it's great. I mean, again, journaling. Then my daughter started writing in this, and that's when I was like, oh no, I don't want to use this. She got a hold of it, and I remember being like, so this one was like, bye. And I got this one, and this one was the one I actually finished, I believe. This was I got this in June 2021, because we were in Florida. I remember that. So, and because I had like data, I think I back planned this one. So I used the months. Then I started pasting in stuff, like dailies. Then this is when I started using them weekly. And this was the one that was in my purse. Very minimal, very just like, what do you need to do that day? I carried it in my purse for so long. I backed plan all of these that you see, and then in June you'll see when I got it, because it's in Florida. Right here. This is where we went to Orlando, Universal Studios. This is when I came home, and it was there. I ordered it when I was in Florida. So I was trying to find my groove, trying to find like what I want to do. And then it started picking up for me. COVID, shots. But I used it very functionally for a while, in my mind. Then this is when it always happens, like September, the new release. Then I started using it. I was like, oh man, I love the Hobonichi weeks. You know how we are, y'all. Then by that time, I moved into this. It was just great, but this was the one that I like kind of finished. I practiced. I did loads of ways to use it. And I had so much fun in this book. I was practicing using some tombos. I was putting prayers. I was just doing it all, y'all. Stuff on insulin and cholesterol, and all this starts getting very personal. Pictures again. And I finished it. So these two made me feel like super motivated. I was like, I can finish a Hobonichi weeks. And then this one, I started using it for homeschool this year. And I was like, okay, I'm going to totally use homeschool. I plotted down stuff. I was like, so like October 2022, homeschool. I was like, I'm going to do it. And leading into 2023, didn't happen, dogs. Didn't happen. I did a video of how you can use a Hobonichi, several like different ways, all of the weekly layouts that you could possibly use for work, for school, for journaling. Then I really started using it in June. If you want to do Duolingo and self-care and a food log and, track it as migraines and vitamins and your pets. So put my pets down, memories, depression, hyperfixation, anxiety, happy, morning, afternoon, evening, exercise. And then I was like, okay. I started using it again. Look, September. That's how it goes. I think I'm going to sneeze. Thank you. If you said thank you. Then I started using homeschool. And then I started pasting in stuff. I had a week where I didn't want to use homeschool anymore. And I let it organically be whatever it was. I pasted stuff in because at this point I was like, I'm going to finish this book. And I pasted stuff in, and that was on the weeks. Again, this one is a regular stuff for uses, my weight tracking, eating, homeschool ideas, kindergarten checklists, how to use the weeks, just stuff. To me, I was like, this is successful. I finished this. What's next? So out of all of these, I have a current weeks. It's in the car, and I've been keeping it in there. This is an actual 2023, but I don't think I'm going to do anything with this, really. I kind of want to, but then I don't. Like, literally, it's what? We're right here. Right here. I could totally use it. I mean, the dailies are not all the way bad. There's just a bunch of pictures, and I can use it. So this one is not out of the woods yet. Like, I could totally use it, but it got really big so fast, and I was like, ugh. I also have another one around here somewhere that I'm actually not, I don't know where it is actually, because there's another one that I use it like as a daily. So anyhow, I love the weeks. The weeks are versatile. The weeks are fun. And these are like my completed or just, I don't know. Maybe it's in here. What do I do with you, friend? Are you in here, friend? Are you over here? Maybe I put it up. So that is all Hobonichi weeks. The one in the car is the one I'm currently using. Maybe I'll film a full video on that. But this is the evolution of the weeks for me. I do have two empty ones upstairs. So those are not megas, those are regular. And I thought about starting one from scratch, like completely brand new, because I told you I wanted to buy a spring edition. I do that every time. 2 of these I think are spring. But I'm like, no, you have like 3 weeks, 4 weeks that you can use right now. So I wanted to put this on my channel for motivation for myself too. So I can kind of tell myself to shh, silence, remember your goals. God bless you guys.